AITA dad gave the business to brother, so I left. My older brother, 30M, went to university and then worked in the city as an accountant. I, 27M, stayed to work for my dad as a plumber at 15 and went to college to get my qualifications in plumbing and gas. About the time COVID started, my brother moved back from the city and started working for my dad, 55M, in accounting. My dad has been unwell for the last 4 years due to asbestosis. It has been really hard on the family, and he is getting worse but is still loving life. I have been running the business for the last 2 years. We have expanded and now have 50 vans in the fleet and 1 qualified and 1 trainee allocated to each van. COVID was hard in the beginning, but we have bounced back. My dad still works on tools with me on Fridays, half day, then back to my place for some beers. Friday is the only day I'm on tools now, as I'm doing everything to run the business. Well, last month he told the family he is stepping down from the business due to health and wants to spend more time with my mother, and is giving the business to my brother, and for me to step down from acting CEO. This upset me. I've been with the business for 12 years. At the beginning, it was only me and my dad. My brother never wanted to be in the business, said it was not worth his time, and now he's the boss. And I've been dumped back to a heating engineer with a 20,000 pounds pay cut. He doesn't have any clue what we do or how to do it. I spoke to my dad, and he told me that my brother deserves it for all he has done, that he has a family and I don't, and that he went to uni. A lot of the workers are upset about the decision and have told me they will go where I go. I told my dad that if that is how he feels, then I will leave and start my own business. I have not spoke to my dad or brother since, and have told them to never contact me. For the last month, I've had thousands of calls and messages from family saying some very hurtful things, and telling me I'm ungrateful for what I have, so AITA? Eat it. I want to say thank you to everyone for your kind words. There are so many to reply to. I will do my best to thank you all. To hear my father tell me in his own way he doesn't think I'm good enough was hard, and for my family to take his and my brother's side was even harder. In the morning, I will contact the large clients I've worked with over the last 6 years. I know we had some site postponed due to COVID, big money, and will try and take them over. I have 20 of my colleagues wishing to come work for me. I've saved nearly all of the money I have earned over the last 12 years, so think I have enough to get myself on my feet. Update: I want to inform everyone that I'm not starting a business to destroy my brother. As much as I want to, I've spent almost 13 years build it, and I don't want to see anyone out of a job or for the business to die. It's about 0500 in England. You have all helped me so much. I will be going over to talk to my father about 0800 and take him out for breakfast and talk. I'm not sure if I will get a proper answer from him, but I love my family and want my future kids to know them. I will update after the events of later today. Upvoted to. As I said in one of the comments, I believe my family had found my post, and they did. This morning, when I arrived at my parents' house, my mom opened the door and looked like she had been crying a lot. My dad came over to talk to me, and we went out for breakfast. He didn't say a word on the way there or when we arrived. When on the way back he asked if we could pull over and talk, I can honestly say this was the first time I saw my dad cry. I asked why he did this to me. He said, doesn't know I keep her pushing, and he finally told me he owed it to my brother for not being about for him as much as me when we were growing up, and there was times my brother needed him but we was working. I couldn't believe it. After 12 years of hard work, that was his reasoning. I told me father I had spent half my life working to do everything for the business, and how he throw me to the side just because his son came back hurt, more than I could explain. He told me he knows as they had been shown the post I put up. To my surprise, he wasn't mad, he seemed remorseful. He told me my mother has been in pieces after reading the comments about how bad she treated me and thinks I will never talk to them again. My dad told me after reading it all he should have split the business between us, as it will need both of us to keep progressing, and apologies to me for never telling me how proud he was of everything I had done and thought I know how proud he was. But my brother has full control, my father has no say anymore, and my brother would never go 50-50. He told me he wants me to go back, as my brother will need me. I told him that's not my problem anymore after they demoted me and cut my pay. I tried to make it work for 3 weeks, but my brother wouldn't listen, didn't believe I know what I was talking about, telling me he knows how to fund a business. So I left. Why work my ass off there when I could do the same work and make more money for myself? My dad broke down, said that he had destroyed the family and should never had done what he did. I don't understand why I took this long to release. I was a valuable piece in the company. Update 3. As I said, I have had a couple of Zoom calls with some clients today, and they have gone very well. I have been informed that we all be sending signed proposal letters for the up-and-coming work. Lucky the site start dates don't clash. That was one of the main things I was worried about. 3 of my colleagues have now left the business and have spoken to my dad, informing him about why they left and that they will be coming to work with me under their own choice. To hear them tell me this meant a lot. They all have between 5 to 10 years more experience in the industry. At the moment, I have all we need to start a new business with the 3 vans I own and tools I have built up over the years. I am looking forward to the new venture in my life and can't wait to share this with my children when I have them. Then I received a call from my father asking me to come over for dinner. I was unsure at first, but thought it was probably a step in the right direction. On arrival, my whole family was there. I went in and the atmosphere dropped. My mom wouldn't look at me, and my brother just sat there acting as if I didn't exist. My dad came and asked me and my brother to come into his office, and he started to ask when I was going to return to the company, as they need me in early Monday morning. I could not even believe what I was hearing. I told them both I'm not coming back and have started my own company. And what does he mean? You gave the business to him. My brother stated to lose his temper, telling me if I cared about the company, why would I leave? I have some very choice words before telling him that I have always cared for the company and spent 12 years of my life. Unlike him, who swans in and takes all the glory, and that I will not sit there and be treated like that. I told my brother to F*K off so I could talk to Dad. I asked what was this morning all about, telling me he's sorry, but then expects me to going running back. He couldn't even look me in the eye, so I left, said goodbye to my cousin, nieces and nephews, and walked out. I've been riding for about 3 hours on and off, coming back on here to talk to people. I just want to say thank you to everyone for the personal message, comments, rewards, and all the kind words and encouragement. I'll try and message everyone, but I'm exhausted and will most likely fall asleep. Update 4. Sorry, it's been a while. I've had a lot going on in the last couple of weeks. I'll try and explain the most I can. So the new business is going very well. We have a lot of work coming in and making good money. At the end on the year, I will be looking at expanding, so very happy with that. Me and my fiancé are very happy. She is very busy planning the wedding of her dreams. She wants me to wear a suit, but tough lucky, I'll be in my kilt. I couldn't be am right now waking up to her every day. She is there for me no matter what, and has been my rock through everything. Then my family, my father and brother, still refuse to talk to me and have told me they will not be attending the wedding even though they haven't been invited. My mother has called my fiancé, but hasn't said much, only to ask about wedding stuff, and will not talk to me. My fiancé family have been amazing. My soon-to-be in-laws have been helping with the wedding and everything else, and I am extremely thankful for everything they have done for us. My other family have now backed off and apologized and want to make amends for everything that was said. Myself and my fiancé are set to have our wedding in November. we sat down together and have decided to trying to have children after we are married. We are both excited to be parents. Story 2. AITA for not splitting the control of my business to my children equally? Hey! 65-year-old electrician from Germany here. I plan to settle down, traveling with my wife, 65, and spoiling our grandchildren for the rest of our life. I had built up a small business with now 23 employees. My son, 36, Alexander, will take control of it. I have also 2 daughters in which I am proud of. Laura, 34, has studied biochemistry and has her master's degree. Marie, 30, became a middle school teacher in mathematics and sports. I have recently spoken about my plan at a family gathering. Laura was totally acceptable with it, but Marie accused me of favoritism. That is not true. I love every of my children equally, but my son decided to make a training on my side as he graduated, abitur similar to high school. Additional, he got a master's license as electrician. So we worked nearly 17 years together. Also, he has the ability to run our business, and our employees respect him. I told my daughter the points above, but she said I was always closer to my son as to my daughters. Sadly, I have to admit it is kind of true, but how isn't it possible if I work all the day together with my son? He is also my colleague and my right hand at work. My wife Laura and Alexander side with me, so I need an outside opinion in here, so Reddit AITA? ETA. Many of you asked, and here are some answers. Alexander will become the owner. I will be totally out of it. As he started to work with me, we were only 6 people, and as he got his master's license, he trained 7 of our employees. We Germans say, war mit Herzblut bei der Sache, he sacrificed a lot. My daughters were offered to work with me and earned money in school holidays on my side. But as they graduated, they had their own career plans, which my wife and I have supported, financially and emotionally. A Redditor sent a link to another story which I have read, and now I am pretty sure I can inherit the business only to my son. I am thankful for your replies, and I had read almost every of them. I just think about if I should benefit my daughters on my will in exchange. Story 3. AITA for not splitting my inheritance so my cousins and I can have an equal amount? Basically what the title says. My paternal grandma died when I 20F was 3, and my cousins, Connor 24 meters and Olivia 20F, were 7 and 4 respectively. In her will, my grandmother left all her money to us grandchildren. Obviously, she didn't know how many children my dad and uncle would end up having, so her will stated that half her money would be split evenly between my uncle's children and the other half would be split evenly between my dad's children. I'm an only child, so I don't have to split the money with siblings. We get access to the money on our 21st birthday, so Connor has already had his. Olivia's birthday is next month, and mine is in 7 months. My uncle, Connor, and Olivia think that it's unfair that I am getting more money than they are. When I was 17 and Connor was turning 21, they asked my parents to split my share of the money so we would all get 33%. My parents said no because it wasn't their money, and that I should be the only one who gets to decide what to do with the money after I get access to it. Since then, they've brought it up a couple of times a year, but as it's getting closer to Olivia's birthday, they've started bringing it up more often. They've even roped in members of our extended family to harass me about it through emails and texts. They say that I am being selfish by not splitting the money evenly with them, and that it's unfair for me to get more money. They also like to bring up the fact that my parents have jobs with higher salaries than their parents, and being an only child meant that I got more stuff growing up, which I admit is partially true. I went to private school, I did a lot of extracurriculars, went on holiday abroad at least once a year. At the same time, I didn't get everything that I asked for growing up, and my parents refused to buy me a car when I was 17. I had to buy my own car, whereas their parents did buy them a car. My dad's aunt also constantly told my uncle that my dad was the favorite child, which has left my uncle with a chip on his shoulder, and he's using me getting more money to support that idea. I don't want to split the money because it is my money. The money was left to the children of my dad, and it's not my fault that my parents only had me. My parents have also taught me how to manage my money, so I plan to put most of the money from my grandma in a lifetime ISA. Use some of it to go traveling after university before starting work, a weekend trip to New York for me and my friends for my 21st birthday, and to invest the rest. So it's not like I'm planning on blowing it all in one go. Also, Connor and Olivia's share is still a lot of money each. It's more than most people inherit, and more money than most people have access to in their early 20s. Also, Connor has already blown through most of his money in the last 3 years on partying, traveling, and cars. So I don't see why I should have to sacrifice some of my inheritance to make up for the fact that he's wasted most of his. So AITA, edit. Seeing as I've been sent messages about it, I thought I'd let everyone know that my grandma did not exclude my dad and uncle. She only left the money that was in her various bank accounts to the grandchildren. The rest of her assets, such as property, jewelry, her art collection, investment portfolio, etc., was left to them. I've been asked how much money there is in total. I don't really feel comfortable saying the exact amount, but it's safe to say that even the 25% share is fractions of £1 million.